So would you mind just telling us a little bit about your experience working with climate people just generally?
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I guess, sorry, before I'm going to try to not overthink it knowing that you guys are recording this, but just like how the process went for me and that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, for a while, so my current role, or my role previous to the one I'll be starting here in a week, was in healthcare, which is something I've worked in before, but was never super passionate about. It's one of those things where I've worked with people who are definitely really passionate about healthcare, and that's great. And that, there's certainly something for everyone, but I knew that wasn't going to be kind of something that I worked in long term as a career. And I've always been, I think it's probably not uncommon, but I've always kind of wondered, what it is that I want to be when I grow up. Like, what is it that I want to kind of, invest my time and energy into? And so, for a while, climate had been on my radar as something that was like, hey, like I should learn more about that. That seems like a really big issue. Just because I'm someone who likes learning new things and kind of like understanding the big challenges that we face in the world. And so, when it came time for me to start looking for some new opportunities, that was right around the time that the IPCC report came out and was like, hey, we thought things with the climate were bad, and it turns out we were right. And also maybe it's a little bit worse than we thought. And that kind of made it click with me, that convergence of like being open to new opportunities and having that kind of come back around. I was like, that's something that I would love to go work on, because it's such a big problem. And it's something that I actually know very little about. And to me, that idea of getting to learn something new and really involve myself, in something as big as a climate technology was really interesting to me. And so I'd actually come across a job posting through you guys with climate people. And so that's how I got connected and went through the process that way.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, like Brendan and I kept talking about how it was very inspirational that you saw that and it really opened your eyes. A lot of times it's people will have like this pre-existing passion and want to turn that, but then the fact that those sheer statistics really inspired you. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah,
I just one thing to add on that. I think actually, because I don't know if you remember, Phil, I think I told you about this, that day you said something along the lines of, I'm paraphrasing, but I couldn't think of anything more important than to do with my time. And I remember tweeting about it that day. And then that tweet, I know, Nat, you got really excited about it too, because it was like, all of a sudden it was like a bunch of venture capitalists, ping, ping, ping. And like a bunch of companies are reaching out like, I need a product designer like that. So it was, it clearly resonated. That message resonated with a lot of people online just when I put that tweet out there. And so, thank you for that.
Yeah.
And, for being willing to transition your career to work on these really important problems. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you and I talked about too, like that to me, that was just another one of those, at the risk of sounding too, I don't know what the right word for it is, but that was just one of those kind of like signs from the universe type thing where it's like, hey, you know what, if that when things kind of happen like that, like, I don't know, to me, that's always a sign that I'm kind of headed in the right direction. So yeah, happy it worked out that way for sure.
Yeah, that's great. All right, so I already know the answers to these questions, but I guess we'll just ask you anyway. So where are you going to work, and what are you going to be doing?
I'm going to be a lead product designer at Indigo.
Great. So what does Indigo do, and how does that relate specifically to climate impact?
Oh man, so you're going to get my super basic explanation of it.
Okay.
But Indigo has a couple different kind of areas of business, but the one that I'll be working in is their carbon technology, which basically incentivizes farmers to adopt new, more sustainable farming practices that capture carbon back into the soil. And again, forgive me if I'm not using all the exact correct language, but and in turn, they're able to use Indigo's technology to basically track that process and put a bunch of data and generate carbon credits so that they can then turn into another source of revenue for themselves.
Yep. That's great.
Sweet. So then also, I think we sent an email about it before, but we have a program. We partner with 1% for the Planet, which is an international organization that allows us to donate 1% of every placement fee to an environmental nonprofit. Did you have a chance to look at the nonprofits that we sent over?
I did, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Which one do you want to move forward with?
So I wanted to pick, I want to make sure I get the name. I wanted to pick Soulfire Farm, I think was the one I wanted to go with.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, just thought I'd stick with the farming and food theme. So yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. They're a great organization too. Do you have any other reasons for choosing them other than the sticking with the food theme?
Not really. I really enjoyed your all's kind of overall. I think Brendan had mentioned to me, you tried to pick nonprofits that have like a diversity and equity kind of component to it. So I really liked that it was kind of narrowed down to that. Again, there's plenty of other, equally valuable nonprofits and things, but I liked that that's what I was picking from. But then, no, that one just kind of stuck out to me because of the farming aspect of it too. And I know how important that can be for just for being healthy people, that kind of access to good food and things like that. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I love the parallels between what you're going to be working on and that as well. So yeah, that works perfectly. Perfect. Yeah, they're a great organization for sure.
Cool.
Sweet. Do you have anything else that you would like to include that we didn't touch on?
Not specifically, no. I mean, I really enjoyed working with you guys, working with you, Brendan. You made the process super easy. I've never actually worked. I don't think I've ever worked with like a third party recruiter before, and so it was a great experience, and you were super helpful in the process. So I certainly appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate that.